Welcome to the tool review channel. Today we're taking a look at the ChannelLock 968 Forged Wire Strippers. So to start off the video here, you can see you have a nice blue ChannelLock blue handles here, and they are, instead of the dipped handles, they're more of like a comfort grip style handle. And as you can see, you have the ChannelLock name embossed on the side of the handle right there. And then if you come to the inside of the handles, you have some warnings: do not use on a live circuit, and also it says made in the USA as well. If you're not familiar with ChannelLock, the majority of their tools are made in the USA. And then coming to this side of the pliers, as you can see, it's almost the exact same. You got the logo embossed there, and on the inside you have the markings on both sides, which is nice. And then coming up to the business end, you can see you got your spring right there. You have your little safety latch right there that keeps the pliers shut when they are in a bag or when you're not trying to use them. And then coming to here, you can see you have your screw cutters. So you have a 632 and 832 screw cutter right there. You have the ChannelLock name laser etched onto the surface of the plier, and you also have the model number right there as well. And then coming up to here, you can see you have a nice cutting edge, pretty large cutting edge right there. And this is not for cutting steel, so don't try to cut steel wire. This is mainly for copper wire and softer gauge wire. So copper, aluminum, you should be able to cut that wire with this cutter on here, no problem. And then coming up to the stripper, as you can see here, it does solid and stranded, so you can strip 10 to 18 gauge solid and 12 to 20 gauge stranded, and both sides are marked, which is nice. And then you have a pair of pliers up here on the nose of the strippers. As you can see right there, if you open up that latch right there, all the teeth run in the same direction, so it's not going to give you the most amount of grip compared to if it was cross hatching, but it's still going to provide a nice grip if you needed to, loop some wire with it, you needed to pull a terminal off of something, or you just needed to get a grip onto something or hold it in place. Now, as you can see, like I said, it has a lock right here. Now, I do find that this lock can be easily disengaged, as you see right there. All you really have to do is kind of flick it, and it does disengage, which could be a problem if you accidentally bump it and you bump the lock and it just springs open on you. Could be a little bit of a problem, but I don't see it being that much of a problem. And then coming to the back side of the tool, pretty simple. There's no markings or anything on the back side, and you see the back side of your rivet right there. There's no markings, so you're mainly going to be using this side of the tool. Now, as you can see, everything is laser etched onto the surface of this tool. It would have been nice to see them stamp it on at least one side of the tool, just in case that laser etching does wear off, or you get some rust or something that covers it up and you can't tell which size is which. You could always flip to the back, but they didn't put anything on the back side of the tool, so that's kind of a disappointment right there. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out here, and we are going to test the functionality of this tool. So we're going to start off with testing some 18 gauge solid wire right here. So for the 18 gauge, we're going to be using this hole all the way at the top, and we're going to see how well we can strip wire with these. So all I got to do is pull down on it, and you can see right there, you can pull it off. Now, I don't feel like the cutting jaws did that great of a job cutting off that insulation. I definitely felt like I was scratching the wire, and as you can see right there, I don't really see any damage done to the wire, too much damage. There is a little bit of a few nicks on there, so we'll go ahead and cut that guy off. We'll go ahead and do that one more time. And it helps if you do put it on an angle, and as you can see right there, you are able to pull off that insulation no problem whatsoever. So we'll go ahead and put this 18 gauge wire off to the side, and we're going to bring in some 14 gauge stranded wire right here and see how well we can strip this wire. So for the 14 gauge, we're going to come over to this side, and if we can get the lighting right here, you're going to see the 14 gauge is going to be the second hole from the bottom. So we'll go ahead and put this guy in there, and we're going to see how well we can strip with it. So we'll go ahead and crimp down on it and see if we can pull off that insulation. And as you can see right there, you are able to pull off that insulation. Now, I do find it a little bit tough to pull it off, but as you can see, you are able to pull it off no problem. So we'll go ahead and give that a cut, and we'll go ahead and do that one more time. Now, one thing I did find that does kind of help with pulling off that insulation is if you cut it right there and then you kind of twist it around in your hand, you are able to pull it off a lot easier, but I kind of nicked the wire right there. But as you see, it is able to strip 14 gauge wire, no problem. So we'll go ahead and set that off to the side and get that wire out of there. And now we'll bring in some 12 gauge stranded wire right here as well. So for the 12 gauge stranded wire, it is going to be the hole all the way at the bottom. This is the largest gauge of wire you could strip. It would have been nice to see them include a stripping hole for 8 and 10 gauge wire, so 8 solid, 10 stranded. That would have been nice. Maybe shorten the cutting jaws a little bit, but we'll see how well we can strip some 12 gauge stranded wire. So we'll just go ahead and crimp down on there. And as you can see right there, you are able to pull it off no problem whatsoever, and there is no damage done to the wire whatsoever. So we'll go ahead and cut that off, and we'll go ahead and do that one more time. So all you basically do is you crimp down, and then you just pull off right there. As you can see, it can be a little bit tough sometimes, but you are able to do it eventually. So we'll go ahead and cut that guy off. We'll go ahead and set that to the side. So overall, these are definitely a nice pair of wire strippers from ChannelLock, and it is great to see that they are made in the USA. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know I do like tools that are made in the USA, and they do perform quite nice compared to some of the other wire strippers that we have tested here on the channel. The one thing I don't really like is the lock. I feel like that could be a problem, especially if you use the tool a lot. And another thing I don't really like is when I got the tool, the spring on it was a little bit stiff, so it did require a little bit of working in to get that to open up just a little bit more, so it wasn't so tight. It's nice to see now that I have it where I can just, pop the lock off and the tool just springs open, as you see right there. And the final thing I don't really like about this tool is you can't really find it in a store. At least none of the stores by me locally that carry ChannelLock products didn't carry this in the store. I actually had to order these online, which isn't a big deal, but it would be nice to go ahead and have them available in one of their retailers. I feel like that would be a lot better than having to order it online. But those are just my few complaints. But other than that, it's a great tool. It gets the job done, and as you saw, it does it no problem. It can be a little bit hard to strip some wire sometimes. But overall, it does the job and gets the job done. So that's really about it for this review. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. But that's really about all I have for this video. If you did enjoy, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video to be uploaded.